Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead, guys. Today I am out here, guys, getting ready to talk a little bit about onions and also planting onions today, guys. So first, before I get started, we are here in Grow Zone 8A. And so, guys, we have onions. Now, is it too late to plant your onions? Actually, no, it's not. So right now, a lot of your box stores out there, they have a lot of onion sets, guys. And so, yes, I did start my own onions, but I had to go on out and buy some onion sets. Simple reason why, like I said, guys, we're going to bring you all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so our onions, they're not the best. Now, even some of them did not even germinate, guys. I don't know if it's because of bad seeds or it's just something that I didn't do right this year. So our onions didn't do so well, but I'm still going to leave them in this container and maybe put some fish emulsion on them, some 511, and see if they will bounce back. Okay. And so I just wanted to show you guys that. The bad. This is the bad, okay? All right, so.
I think they look decent.
You think so? Well, for me, I don't think so. Okay? Okay, guys, and so here we're going to be planting our onions. So it all depends on your different areas that you're living in. So we're down south, and so our onions is short day onions. Okay, we have to plant short day onions. If we plant long day onions or intermediate onions, what's going to happen, we won't really get anything that will bulb out too fast, and we won't get anything, guys. So we have to plant short day onions in our area. So it all depends on where you live. You want to do your research to make sure that you're planting the right onions at the right time. Okay, and so right now what we're going to go ahead and do is plant some onions and just go over a couple of tips while we're planting them, so you can have some good bulbs, a good growing season from your onions. Okay, so the onion sets that I bought from the store the other day, guys, what I went ahead and did, I bring them home, and I didn't leave them out. I didn't put them in any water or anything like that. I simply go ahead and put them, the whole bunch of sets, in the ground, so that way they can go ahead and start putting on the roots, and so they can get rejuvenated. So I brought them in, watered them with some 511 just to go ahead and get them strong. Okay, and so in this onion beds here that I have, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk fertilizer. You want to make sure that you have these beds prepped and ready to receive your onions. Okay, so because I know I was going to be planting onion in this area right here, guys, what I went ahead and did, I come on in with chicken manure, okay, which is high in nitrogen. Also have some the potassium and phosphorus in there that your garden pretty much need, plus the organic matter that is in the chicken manure. Okay, and also another thing, guys, you want to make sure that you are putting down, before you plant your onions, get that potassium and phosphorus in your ground where you're going to be planting. That way you can have real nice root system as well. So that's one of the things that you want to keep in mind, just to go ahead and fertilize that bed real well, guys. All right, and also another thing is, once you cultivate your bed, well, not cultivate, because this right here is a no-till bed right here, so there was no cultivation going on in these three beds right here at the time. So once you get your fertilizers in the bed, then you're going to it's going to be time for you to go ahead and plant your onions. Okay, and so once you plant your onions, one of the things that you want to go ahead and do once you plant them is you still want to come on in and feed those onions because they are heavy feeder, guys. When I say heavy feeders, they still going to need a little bit more nitrogen within that growing time. And so what you're trying to do is your foliage on your onions, you're trying to get them to grow as vigorous as possible, okay? So you're going to feed them within that time while they're putting on their foliage. And once you feed them up until that point to where they start to bulb, you're going to want to pull back any fertilizer from those onions, guys. And all you're going to want to do after that is pretty much just water them. Don't feed them anymore once you see those bulbs start to form, okay? And so these onions, they go through 2 phases. Your first phase would be the vegetation phase, where that you're putting in all their foliage, okay? That is the vegetation phase. So in the next phase will be the bulbing phase, guys. And the bulbing phase is where they start to putting bulbs on. That's the bulbing phase. So remember, in your vegetation phase, you want to go ahead and still put in some nitrogen. I'll say at least about,
show them that throughout the season, right?
Yeah, throughout the season, I'll come on in and take you guys along with me. One of the things that you can use to come in and fertilize, you can bring in some chicken manure or even blood meal, guys, which is high in nitrogen. But your chicken manure that you're going to be using to fertilize, you want to make sure that it is broken down. Simple reason why you don't want to come in with raw chicken manure and burn your foliage on your onions.
Chicken manure, you mean
Straight from the coop out here, okay? It will burn. And if you want to keep away from that, like I say, you can use the blood meal, or you can even use the 511, guys, where you would come in twice a day and just, not twice a day, but twice a week and water with your fish emulsion, okay? All right, guys, and so we're going to bring you all on down here real quick. And so what we're going to do right now is pretty much pull one of these out the ground right here. And as you can see, look at that, okay? You can see all those roots start to form on these onions here, guys.
So this is the bunch that you bought?
Yeah, so this is the bunch that I bought from the store. And, you know, hey, this is what they're looking like. And we're going to go ahead and start planting them out, okay? All right. And so we're going to start down there on that end of the bed and plant these onions, guys. And so here I have one set in my hand. And one of the things when you're planting your onions, you want to make sure as well that you have real nice loose soil, guys, so that way once they go ahead and start bulbing, it won't be hard for them to push that dirt aside and, you know, put that bulb on. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is pretty much the spacing on these onions. What you want to do right at about 4 inches, you want to space these onions here, but I'm going to go ahead and do about 5 to 6 inches with mines. And so that's the from side, and then the width you do probably about another 8 inches. Now usually you want to probably do maybe about 1 foot or so, guys, but I'm not going for record size onion bulbs, okay? So I'm just going to give them enough spacing so I can get enough onions in this bed here, okay? And so what I'm going to do is just barely move that dirt and sit that root ball into that hole, and I'm just going to go ahead and barely cover just like that. Now, how deep you want to plant those onion, guys? You want to go right at about 1 inch deep, okay? Right at about 1 inch, and that's it. If you can get them closer up out the ground, that's fine as well. But right at about 1 inch is where you would want to be. And
that's basically so your onion sits on the ground. Your onion doesn't have to grow under the dirt, right?
right, it doesn't have to grow under the dirt.
Just the root itself.
Just the root itself. And also remember, like I said as well, these onions, they do require quite a bit of water once you plant them, especially in that stage where that they're bulbing and also putting on their foliage, guys. Okay, so if y'all see here inside the garden right now, I do have my drip system set up. And so that is one of the things that you want to also keep in mind so you can get a good successful growing season out of your onions. All right.
And you do have a video coming showing them how to set up the drip system, right?
Yes.
Will that be the area that's behind you?
I wouldn't necessarily say yes, because there's a lot of different areas in the garden that we are also working on. And so once I finish working on that area and it's time to plant out in that area, I usually set up my drip system before I plant. So it could be at any time where, you know, I'll set up that drip system. Okay.
So are you cleaning when you're planting? What are you cleaning off right now?
Just the dead, just cleaning off the dead outer layer. So I'll show you guys. So like all this dead piece right here, I'll just go ahead and strip that back. Okay, and you got to remember, the reason why you want to make sure that you're getting real nice vegetation on these onions as well, guys, or foliage on these onions. Simple reason why: for every what you call these here, for every green scallion that you would get on the end, every green scallion that you would get on these onions, that will be a ring around your onion. Okay, I don't know if I explained that.
A layer. So
yes.
For every, he's saying, guys, okay, look here. For every green scallion that's coming out of the onion, that represents one ring or layer of the onion. So the more greenery, the bigger the onion bulb, because it's more layers. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys, so he'll work to get these planted.
Yeah, so just stay tuned. We will be back once we get these here planted out. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, and so I just finished planting that bunch out, guys. And so that's the last of the bunch right here that I just planted out. And so I just want y'all to see real quick what the growth is looking like. These ones was planted 2 weeks ago. And so just to kind of get a shot and see how they're looking, they're growing pretty nice for the most part. You know, we just keep on coming on out and just watering them. You know, even when the sun go down, we'll come on out, give them a little water, so that way we can have them to grow real nicely, guys. Another thing is that you want to also keep in mind with your onions while they are growing, guys, with all that nutrients that's in the ground, that nitrogen that you're putting in and all that, what will happen, you will tend to find a lot of weeds try to grow up inside of these onions here. Now, it is very, very important to make sure that you pull all weeds. Take some time out to come on out and pull those weeds, guys, because what will happen, your onions, they don't like to compete. And if you have a lot of weeds in here, what will happen, you won't get a great yield out of your onions, because the weeds pretty much rob all the nutrients from your onion, guys. Okay, and so, and you know, like I said, it is important to make sure that if you can start your own onion sets, do that. Okay, onion seeds. Yes, start your onions from seeds. It works out a whole lot better, guys. If you check out one of our videos from about 2 years back, those onions that were planted at that time came from seeds, okay? And we had a real great yield out of them, okay? What that does when you start them from seeds, it keeps a lot of your plants from being stressed. And so when you plant them, stress in the plant, a lot of things can happen, you know, from stressed plants. So if you can start your own onion seeds at home, I'll strongly recommend that you do that, okay? So pretty much that is it for right now. What we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and plant out the other 3 bunch of onions that we have. And what we'll do, guys, is these onions here grow throughout the season, we will come on in and just give you all a update on how the onions are doing, you know, just so we can go along, you know, just teaching and learning with planting these onions, okay? So pretty much that is pretty much about it right there, guys. If you think I didn't mention something in this video here with planting the onions, just go ahead, drop a comment down in the box below, you know, what we could have done different here on the homestead with planting the onions. No, I know one of the thing is they may be planted a bit close, but like I said, guys, we're not here for, you know, of course we do want some, yeah, we do want some good sized onion bulbs, don't get me wrong, but we are here to just get, hey, whatever the Father bless us with, okay? So guys, that is pretty much it right there. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all out there for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. And as always, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. I pray y'all take something away from this video here, guys. I want y'all to have a blessed day.